Alright, this is SirWilliams, and we are back with Little Red Lie. And we are about to start looking for the cat. Can't say I blame you for wanting to get out of there now and again, Bobo, but on the other hand, you're a cat. Check outside, probably? Really don't think he got out. I'm also not gonna stand out on our street in the middle of the night yelling, Bobo! Or not yet, anyways. Closet? Everybody has their own coat hanger. Believe it or not, I think even my sister would consider it anathema to violate that. Maybe she isn't as gone as we think. No Bobo, though. Couch? This old couch belonged to my granny. It actually pulls out into a bed. The same one she slept on when she stayed with us until she passed away. She took us to the zoo, the park. I really loved her. When she died, it was the only time I ever saw my dad cry. I heard him through the door and looked in. I didn't want to go in and bother him, though. No cat underneath this. Bathroom? Come on. When we were kids, Mom would always make us go straight to this washroom to get cleaned up after we came in from playing outside. There was always a cool wind that blew through here that felt good, even on the hottest days. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Long time ago. No cat in here. Okay. This is a still life. I have no idea where it came from. It doesn't really fit in with anything else in the house, but that doesn't bother me. This is a farm that belonged to some distant uncle or cousin of mine. I can't remember. We still have a lot of distant family who lives out in the middle of nowhere that I've never even met. I wonder what they're like. This is from my parents' wedding. It was up north, some campground type of place somewhere. Before the destination wedding, there were simply people who didn't have any money. I think I would have liked to have as little as they did. Okay, I go. Cattle. Lie about legitimate skill. I love this game. I'm the best at it. Some people think they're better than me. But it isn't my fault they haven't memorized every two-letter word in the world. Two-letter world in the world that includes the letter Q. I'm the best. I sort of miss growing up around here. Before we had air conditioning, when we would have the windows open all the time. Dad pretended to buy this TV at random, but it's too good for him to not have done research on. Lie about ability to move couch alone. This is one of those electronic posture couches. It weighs approximately 2 million pounds. I can't move it without risking a minor but permanent injury. And I'm not crawling on my knees to look under things until I finish checking out the stuff I can actually shuffle around. My father was a police officer. He believes strongly in following the law with a single exception. He keeps guns in the house, some of which I don't think he is quite supposed to have. I don't think other cops ever trusted my dad. They all lived out in Whitby and Oshawa, and would drive into Big Bad Scarborough every day to unleash white trash justice. He was the guy who actually lived there, who's from there. Dinner was a big deal in our house growing up. Being late to the table once you got called was one of the few ways to actually get yelled at. No cat, though. Frequency of adorableness. When Bobo was his less younger and less escape-savvy, well-hidden self, we used to find him curled up asleep in here all the time. Nope. No cat in the cabinet. I don't think he's in the fridge. We should really only keep healthy stuff in here. After a while, I'm sure you don't miss junk food at all. And no cat behind it either. Ah. There he is, ran upstairs. Bobo, you bozo. There are all sorts of creatures hiding behind this, but I don't think Bobo is one of them. Still, I respect whatever people want to believe. Go back here, cat. Come on. There we go. There he is. Hopefully he goes for my room instead of back downstairs. Some things are 50-50 no matter what. All you can do is roll the dice. You can put an object on a shelf in this house, and so long as it doesn't get in the way of anything, it will be sitting right where you left it 10 years later. I don't know if I have feelings as mixed about anything as I do about the way that things never change. I shouldn't need to climb up. Shaking the bookshelf a bit should do it. Well, if it's 50-50... Bubba, get down. Nope, 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 nope. Yes. You almost scratched that old photo. That's pre-digital, Bobo. Mom would kill you. I better put it back in place. He took off into my room. I see this photo every day, but I never really look at it. I can't remember what movie we saw. Mom looks like she hated it, but that's what her face is like most of the time. Thank God I don't make that face. I always feel ashamed to have good memories from when I was growing up. I look at this picture and I see people that I loved more than the people that I see now, including myself. No matter how you think about it, we were better then. But what kind of person would feel like that? I had another bed when I lived downtown, obviously, but I didn't bother bringing it home. It's not like I would actually do anything here. It's just a place to sleep. I put this map up when I got back from my first trip to Europe. I put text in it for every place that I went. Didn't make it to everywhere I dreamt of, but at least I hit everything I really wanted to see. I barely use this thing compared to my phone, and I'm also pretty sure my phone is more of a computer than it is regardless. It's good enough to watch movies on. I have no idea why people constantly buy new laptops. I guess it's a little slow. It's a degree from the best university in Canada. Sometimes I regret not moving away for school, and at least the prestige will last a lifetime. Lie about feline concealment. I love it when cats have this bizarre idea that you can't see them when they're sitting in plain sight. They stare at you like they're hiding when they're like sitting under a table. Or on top of a dresser. I bet a kitty cat won't appear if I shuffle this dresser. That did it. Now I've just gotta have words with him. Yeah, okay. Feline English comprehension. What are you doing? Meow. Look at your face. Bo 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 bo. Do you want to lay down with me for a little bit before we take you back downstairs? Okay. I love animals. I wish I had ever had the space or the free time to feel like I could have had one. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep yawning during streams. Maybe I could have made it work. I know that people who have less than I do find a way. But it never felt right. What if it had gone wrong? What if I'd ended up in a situation with one of those $2,000 cat surgeries that seems totally ridiculous until it's your cat? If an innocent animal had to suffer or die because I didn't have the money to save it, I think a part of me would never forgive myself. And then you look at my sister, who claims to wish she could rescue all the cats in the world. But who does the work? Who buys the litter and the food and leaves it outside her door? The rest of us. It must be super sad to be a loser. If you've ever been important, you know how fucking tedious it is to talk to people who aren't. I know that sounds callous, but can we get real for a second? It isn't like these people want to talk to you for any other reason than believing that it might make their lives better. I swear, if I could figure out how to get these fucking balloon heads to give me their money without having to watch their goldfish mouths flop around, I'd be thrilled. You think you're kinder than me? Please. I'd like to see you have the exact same conversation with an unemployable, butt-fucking moron about how to become a millionaire. These assholes couldn't get $1 million if they tripped over a bag with $1 million in it. Wow, that wit. They'd shit their pants and get carted off in an ambulance because they scraped their knees. They don't have anything to offer you. There's no fair trade here. You're a big fucking deal with important things to do, and here you are, listening to human smegma. Just wasting your time, droning on and on about a bunch of shit they're gonna do. Except they fucking ain't. Because if they were, they'd be out doing it instead of talking to you. But I know. These fucknuts are my bread and butter. You know what the success rate is of the people who sit here and listen to people like me ramble on? 0%. You know what the success rate is of people who have better things to do than listen to me? Probably not much higher. But it's better than nothing. Still, there are more dishonest trades out there. This possesses at least some modicum of mutual benefit. I get to make a living, and they get to think that somebody like me cares about them. But I swear, it takes everything I have not to ask these people the questions that they should really be asking themselves. Why do you have a company? Why are you handing me a business card for a thing that has done nothing and has no reason to exist? Why do you keep talking to me? What is your problem? What do you want? Jesus. I thought I only had to talk to the VIP meet and greet people. These are the VIP meet and greet people. They keep selling more VIP tickets. Alright, let me get this over with. Don't forget. Blank is coming to see you afterwards? Can I don't think I can click on that. Nope. How could I? Keep it up, working man. 20 years to retirement. Thanks, Fiona. Appreciate you doing all the prep work on the presentation deck, too. No problem. Was it alright? It was perfectly fine, but if I say it wasn't, you'll make it even better, and it will cost me nothing. It worked. But I think you can do better. I know you've got a lot of talent. Why don't you polish it up a bit before the next event? Alright. I'll be back at the office until midnight or so if you need anything else. Appreciate it. Let me tell you something. Young women are the most amazing things going on in the workforce today. Me and all the guys I came up with are always saying so. You can pay them less, they work like dogs, and they're a hell of a lot easier on the eyes than some dickbag wearing a suit that looks like he bought it for the prom he never went to. And best of all is that right when all these chicks get to that age where they should start wanting more, promotions, raises, the rest of it, a good bunch of them go off, have kids, and you never have to see them again. Wow. Then you get to dip back into the college interns, get a fresh batch, and the cycle begins anew. I love the part where they come back to visit with the baby, thinking this is their big moment to wedge back in. They see the younger girls who've replaced them, and you can literally watch it click in their minds how completely fucked they are. And I know, a ton of women out there are thinking, does it even matter? When push comes to shove, you're going to leapfrog a bunch of young men over those women anyways. Nah, I think a lot of women think so. Maybe. Because women care about other women and assume that men do too. My wife, for example, calls her sister practically every day. They just sit there on the phone, nattering on about nothing. What the hell is that about? But no, men don't care about other men. We only care about ourselves. As soon as I get everything I came for, you bitches can have it. After all, you'll need the cash if you're gonna carry all those boyfriends you've got sitting at home playing video games all day. Just don't let them knock you up. Doesn't seem so great to be the working half now, does it? Welcome to my world. Are you fucking kidding me? Glad hand a bunch of... I forgot. That's it. Hey there, everybody. I'll be right down. Come on, Arthur. Don't make yourself out to be a man of the people and then not respect an orderly queue. How are you, sir? Outstanding, sir. I love how there's not even a person there. That's outstanding, sir. A real pleasure to meet you. The first guy is always a guy, and he always has the same stupid, shit-eating grin on his face. And even if he isn't a white guy, he always wants to do all the white guy stuff. Talk to you like you're both wearing kilts at a wedding. Give you that our grandfathers were brothers in a great war type of nod. What a twat. And to boot, all he wants is for you to see him beaming. He just wants you to know that he was impressed, and that this is a rare feat indeed. That you, like him, are a naturally born master of the universe. So tiresome. And the worst part is that, sometimes, through sheer force of irrational overconfidence, these guys actually succeed. And they become the most insufferable people to ever live. The guys who never shut up about how hard they worked while they make internet videos pretending to buy houses for their single moms. Fucking hell. And that's why I really want to get this business off the ground. Sounds like a hell of a plan, Randy. May the road rise to meet you. Jesus, I hate this kind of generic talk. May the wind be at your back. Forgot to sell that first guy a book. Oh well, I think this lady looks like a good candidate for Get Real, the rebirth of entrepreneurship. Lie about pseudo-spiritual nonsense. Arthur! It's wonderful to meet you. Nice to meet you as well, Kelly. I've just gotten back from Papua New Guinea, and I spent most of the flight listening to your audiobooks. The moment a woman starts talking about travel, you know you're in a situation where you'll eventually have to tactfully cut them off. We call these ladies the flying and crying set. They're always going somewhere, always on some personal journey of enlightenment that amounts to wondering why living out of airports doesn't seem to be making them happy. And they always have a hidden fuck ton of money that came from somebody else. Or they believe it's hidden. I don't know why they think that anyone would buy that someone who spends practically all their time traveling could be anything but rich. They'll always tell you they're an event planner anyways. So you hate it. But these are also the people that you really, really want to put up with. Individual stories may vary, but they were always whales with zero self-esteem, and when they dump money into their own misery, trust me, they dump big. But what I learned, most of all, is that I needed to love myself. If you can't love yourself, who can you love? It's true. Thank you for tonight. Oh, I'll push this one. Start Real, the Arthur Fox Startup Master Plan. Lie about mild arousal. Hey there, Arthur. You're so handsome in person. It was all for you, I promise. A couple of things I already know about this lady based solely on the flirt-expecting look she gave me as she walked up. 1, she does not have any social media profile picture that is not at least 10 years old. And at least one of them is of those real estate agent-looking faux glamour shots. Her former hotness in the accompanying photo was the white-hot core of her credibility in some sort of sales job. She was abandoned. Anyways, I didn't really fit in with the whole cosmetic sales thing. I want to cut my own path. It's the road less traveled, but if you do it right, you can go all the way. Hang in there. For this guy, maybe mission reality. Lie about importance of networking. Good evening. Hello, Mr. Fox. Please take my card. It also has a QR code that can bring you right to my professional profile and resume. It isn't the immediate move to a business card that tips this guy off to me, though they are less common nowadays. No, it's the business card holder. You know, I gotta say though, like, there are some really ostentatious business card holders out there, and honestly, the people that I've seen that have them can be a little pretentious and insufferable, but it's probably maybe the only thing I agree with for this guy. That is the true mark of the contemporary insane networking idiot. And the worst part of talking to these guys is that they're actually just mining your opinions for stuff to talk to other people about. They think they're really slick when they go, "Oh, tell me about that," because they think they flattered you by wanting your opinion. Plus, they now have the chance to get a bunch of material to regurgitate on someone else. But these morons don't actually have any thought of their own at all. And all they want is some vague promise that they might find a job out of their wide-ranging knowledge. But the secret to getting them to go away is that you can never imply that job might be with you. Rather, the thing to say is more like, "You know, I know someone who may be looking for somebody like that. I don't know them very well at all, but I'll certainly pass your card on to them." That would be fantastic. Thank you so much. I love your hustle, by the way. Yes, sir. This person has to be religious. I'll see if she wants the real spirit connecting with your real heart. The one with the pink hair? Lie about #community. Hello. Very nice to meet you, Mr. Fox. Your talk reminded me so much from my life. Oh yeah, the ethnic wisdom of people from wherever the fuck they're from. Actually, this shit is always weird enough to almost be interesting. Go nuts, lady. I need a breather. And I know you don't actually want me to say anything back. And that was when I knew that reconnecting with my heritage was the key. It really is. Best of luck to you. I'll just close my eyes and pick a book at random as a fun challenge to see how I can contextualize it with whatever this next dummy says. Oh, I didn't lie about overcoming something. Hi there. Oh, hello. These people might be the best. These people might be my very favorite. Here we are, staring down the barrel of various business endeavors in which a certain degree of charisma is an obviously absolute requirement, and you can't even stop sweating past a simple hello. How strange is it that so many people have no idea who they are after 35 or 40 years of crashing through one failure after another? Is it because they never succeed at anything that they have no idea how hopeless their ambitions truly are? They have no idea how out of alignment their desires are with their capabilities. Look at this guy. His shirt looks like a bath towel. The corners of his mouth are rife with some kind of unidentifiable crust. His jacket and his pants are hanging off of him like he just walked out of a river. Why? Why are you here? Why do you do this to yourself? I'm sorry, I'm not usually so anxious. I know I can... Don't worry, Terry. You got this. Once you get things figured out, they'll never see you coming. Are you really real? Huh, I haven't read this one, actually. Looks like it turned out alright, at least. Terrible title. Well, lie about special tragedies. Hi, how are you? Wow, it's an honor to meet you, Mr. Fox. I've read all of your books. That makes one of us. The last person is always the same person. They mill around a bit, trying to look like they can't decide whether or not they want to talk to you. They try to look demure. But the reality is that they hope you'll notice how deeply conflicted they are and remember it for later. It also helps in practical terms, because twirling around like an autistic ballerina ensures that they actually will be at the back of the line. And this person always had the same story, something emotional. Someone died. They almost died. And so on and so forth. This person is easy to deal with, because they don't even actually want anything from you. All they want is to feel like they're more tragic than everybody else. All you have to do is play to them like they're as special as they think they are. I just hope you know that. I hope you know how much that meant to me. Carl, I can't begin to tell you how touched I am to hear that. Thank you. I'm so glad we had a chance to talk after everyone else was gone. That must have been such a difficult time. It was. It really was. I don't think I've ever heard a story as tough as yours. You really put what I do into perspective. You're the kind of person I got into this business to help. And then of course they cry. They cry, and they cry, and they cry. Which is perfect, because then I have a reason to cry. Namely, how worthless they are. As soon as they start, I start to really feel how stupid and fucked up and pointless their lives are compared to mine. And it all comes out. They're crying at themselves, and I'm crying at them too. It's a thing called empathy. And then, before you know it, they're gone. Still, as much as I hate all those people and only talk to them because they gave me money to do so, a strange emptiness washes over me the second that all of them are gone. It's like all of a sudden I am as alone as I actually am. Sure, I've got a wife, I've got a family, but they need me. All these people, they all need me. What if I needed someone? Who the hell is there for me? Lucky? Sure, I'm lucky. Lucky to be strong enough to handle all this. The kind of luck I've got would break most people like a twig. But who cares? Who cares about me? Oh, you're so pitiful. Another day, another respectably sized fuck ton of morons, hopefully relieved of their money. At least I hated every single one of them. Wow. That is... Night by night. When you absolutely need to talk to her, the only guaranteed way is to set your alarm for 2 a.m. It's a hell of an alarm. You wake up, shake the webs, then take a look at the internet to see if she's started posting things. As soon as you see those start to flood in, you know it's time. Alright, time to read social media sites in the dead of night. Always riveting. If she's on, I'll pick Bobo up and take him down with me. That should get my foot in the door without too much argument, at least. Cat. Lie about capture. I gotta check to see if she started spewing crap all over the internet yet. It's the only way you can be sure of her being awake and at least somewhat up and around. After the suicide attempt, I started tracking her online, keyword alerts, things like that. Sometimes I'm even watching what she does online as she sits in the same room as me. Mom and Dad do most of the looking out for her day to day, but this felt like the one thing that I could do. Not to mention that it's the last thing I'd want them to have to wade through. God knows I don't enjoy it. You enjoy it. They don't understand online persona, the weird bullshit alchemy of negative personality trait exaggeration. They would read that she was shaking and crying over some political catastrophe and think that she was actually shaking and crying. Nope. She's sitting there eating a Cobb salad. And if she has any idea I'm watching her, you'd never know. Alright, I see her on there. It's showtime, Bobo. Use Bobo as false pretense. Let's go, Bobo. Bobo is one of those cats that will jump up and sit next to you anywhere, but if you try to pick him up, forget it. Plus he has a strange way of knowing you're going to try. Okay, time to take you home, pal. I'm just coming down to pat your head, I promise. And Bobo was like, fuck that. Shit. At least I heard him run back downstairs. You might be able to see in the dark, Bobo, but I literally know this house with my eyes closed. I know where everything is, even if I can't see it. As happy as we all seem in that picture, that was also the night she snuck out of the house to go drinking in the park with some high school guys she liked. And his friends. I like to say she told me about it because of our sisterly bond, but the truth was that she needed the window directly above my head to climb out of. I begged her not to go, and told her that some guy who liked you might try to get you drunk. But that didn't mean he really liked you, and if he was bringing his friends, he might like you even less than that. I got sick of arguing, so I promised that I wouldn't tell Mom or Dad. But I did. Dad drove down to the park entrance to wait for her, and he saw the guys go in, but she never showed. I don't know if she ended up listening to me and acting like she didn't, or if she went somewhere even worse that night. She climbed back through the window a few hours later and fell asleep without a word. It's a boring end to the story, I know, but life is no story, and there are a lot of things you're probably better off never knowing for sure. If she really is up, and actually awake enough to consider communicating, another sign is that she's eaten, which she won't for days and then suddenly will. In other words, the kitchen would be a wreck. I'll take a look. Kitchen doesn't appear to be a wreck. Well, there's a plate. It sounds crazy, but we have to make sure she brings plates back upstairs. The flies down there weren't bothering anybody but her, but once we saw a mouse, Dad went nuclear. I do this thing where I know what all the dishes are now. And if I see one out in the wild like this, I mentally subtract it from wherever I look in the cabinets. And I hunt them down if they're missing before Dad can find them. I can mediate between the two of them to a certain extent, but believe me, that situation was too much. I'm not doing this for either of them. I gotta live here too. Doesn't seem to be anything missing. Maybe I should take her something. No, stop it. God damn it, this is important. She has to talk to you. Break down the fucking door if you have to. What the hell are you enabling her for? I've seen enough. Time to go downstairs. I've seen enough. Time to go downstairs. Okay. Jesus, it's freezing down here. She left the window open again. Why can't she smoke uncomfortably outside like everybody else does? Can't say I blame you for sitting on top of the warm dryer, Bobo. Hopefully that'll keep you from running. And of course the draft of the window being open means the door up there slams shut. Which means Mom and Dad will both wake up, inquiries will be made, and all that fucking sneaking around was for nothing. God fucking damn it. There's more to the story with my sister, of course. More than the sexy stuff about her tragic attempts and heroic road to recovery. The bills and the stress from all of it threw everything into disarray. My mom had MS that had been in remission before I was born. But of course it came back. My dad had insurance that was supposed to cover anything and everything, but of course it didn't. The years went by and the isolation and dysfunction only became more taxing and worse. And as the cost of it rises, the darkest of secrets gains momentum somewhere deep inside you. That secretly, I don't even think anything is actually wrong with my sister. Her soul and her heart are simply covered in rust. It's been so long since she's been a person that she no longer knows how. And that for somebody who doesn't even want to be alive, she sure seems to have no remorse about ruining the lives of people who do. But you keep that thorn inside, tumbling around. Don't worry, Bubbo. I'll still make sure you get back in, okay? This temperature would kill you. Lie about head patting. Just gonna pat your head. It's just my friendly, slowly moving hand. Shit. Jesus, that startled the shit out of me. What are you doing down here? One of your cats escaped. I think I heard him run back into your room as soon as you opened the door. He's probably hungry. Fine. Good night. Melissa. I have to talk to you. Text me. No, talk. You can't come in right now. Danny is running a raid group. He needs total concentration. Melissa, I just saw Danny say that raid is super easy, and if you knew how serious this was, you would have played a better card than that. All I have to get through now is her swearing at me a few times. Upstairs, son. Fuck off, Sarah. I'm busy. It's about money. What money? The money. Our money. Fine. What about it? Melissa, we're standing in the laundry room. It's freezing out here. Fine. Just give me a minute. I'm coming up. No. You come in. Just wait 2 minutes. As much as I don't want to stand in the freezing cold for 2 minutes, I probably want to see the inside of that room right now, even less. Besides the garbage everywhere that Melissa's probably tidying up now, I never know what I'm going to see when I set foot inside this place. My sister goes from one delusional passion to the next. You can see the boxes they came in stacked chaotically outside her door. I guess the funny thing is that she's a stereotype, right? A loser who lives in their parents' basement. But for her, millennialism is closer to camouflage than causation. Even in the best of all possible worlds, the wildest of socialist utopias, I assure you, she would be right here. Probably forever. Oh, this is hard. Well, here goes nothing. At the very least, I'll have to find a way to put her in a better mood first. Placate sister into conversation. This month, my sister is interested in learning how to play the guitar. It's too bad that the only thing she ever takes any interest in are glamorous. Art, music, writing, that kind of stuff. When we were young, Mom and Dad really encouraged her down all these creative paths. But maybe some people want to be artists because the only thing they can do is make shit up. I mean, she has absolutely no natural gift for any of it, nor the level of discipline to compensate. And as soon as she comes around to realizing that, she gives up until she forgets. And then she starts again with something else, no matter how much it costs. My sister has the desire to be a person who does these things, not the desire to actually do them. It's too bad, I guess. For all we know, Melissa could have been the greatest welder who ever lived, or a surgeon, or an engineer, or not even the greatest. Even a shitty accountant makes more than most of the novelists in the world ever will. Still, I'm sure her internet minions with no real stake in her existence would disagree. After all, none of those jobs would have ever given her the sniveling praise that all they do is say she deserves. They claim that we need people who will shoot for the moon, even if they land amongst the stars. That making things is for everyone. Fuck those people. This is my sister. I know her better than you ever will. Her only problem is that nobody ever made her need the money. Cool guitar. I thought I heard someone playing a few nights ago. Don't touch it. Why? I know power chords. It's an acoustic. So? What do you want, Sarah? Geez, okay, try something else, I guess. Before she was suicidal, Melissa won some kind of mental health award from the big game streaming corporation for some sort of thing she'd on the internet. Ironically, I blame the internet for a lot of what Melissa became. People were never meant to be continuously wired into the pain of others like that. In theory, it's supposed to make you more empathetic. In practice, it makes the whole world feel like stepping on glass. And I've never understood what she gets out of all this posturing about accepting herself to begin with. The way I see it, if you've got nothing to be happy about, the least you can do is dignify it. Keep your head down. Mind your own business. Doesn't she understand that these people are laughing at her? Still, she gave a speech and everything. It was the closest to her old self we'd seen in a long, long time. It was funny, smart, interesting. But she isn't funny or smart anymore. Now, she's just cruel. Maybe she did realize that those people were laughing at her. I'm actually not even going to touch this one. I don't know why she decided to get it out and put it on display like this, but I don't think asking that question will lead anywhere good. You ever notice that people who love to smoke pot are so enthusiastic about how innocuous and non-addictive it is that they spend all their money on it and smoke it every single day? I can't think of a flattering way to discuss this. What I'd really like to drill her on is if she honestly thinks she should be mixing this stuff with the 10 quadrillion antidepressants she takes. But I've had that conversation with her before. There's no proof it does any harm. And if that means you ought to give it your best shot, I better just let this one go as a topic of cheerful conversation. It's also a bad preface to a discussion on cutting back spending. Got a better chance of getting her to cut back on breathing than I do on this. What are you staring at? Nothing. You're acting like a fucking nut job right now, Sarah. Sorry, I just kind of have to pause for a little bit. This writing is really excellent. And it's just kinda hitting me hard. I mean, I'm not one of those millennials, I guess. I have no backup or anything like that. But I understand, I guess. I'm probably gonna stop it right here, and I will pick it up with part 3 probably tomorrow. I just need to process, I guess. This is some really excellent writing if it gets you to feel things. Alright, so I will see you next time. Bye.